Hello, everybody, and good evening to another non-league uh, chat show. Slightly a little bit different today. I'm on my own today at the moment, so you're just going to have to kind of bear with me. I've got quite a few things we can go through. The first couple of things I would like to go through. The first thing I would like to go through is a couple of announcements. Firstly, to one of my former managers, Paul Chick. Paul sadly passed away only a few days ago. I was told Paul passed away due to dementia. Unfortunately, about Paul Chick. Paul got me into senior football. Basically, it was Paul brought me into the DIS squad, the under 18s and reserve squad. And his training sessions were ever, I could always remember them. We would all meet at Brewers Green Lane, and at the time we would be using the pitch at Bresingham, which is just opposite the village shop at the village hall. And it doesn't matter how old you were or your ability. Basically, the whole DIS squad, first reserve under 18s, we would end up running all the way to Bresingham. And it wouldn't stop there. It would carry. Paul would make you. Paul would make you run around the pitch a few times. He wouldn't make you stop, basically. And for us goalkeepers, it was kind of. It was ruthless, really, because as soon as a player took a shot, he would have his strikers shooting again, but also his goalkeepers working hard for the next shot straight away. So, yeah, I'm deeply saddened to say, I'm sure you know, but Paul was very known throughout the non-league football with DIS, Yarmouth, Norwich United, just to name a few. So yes, big loss to local football and to non-league football in the area. And the second thing I'd like to touch on is a gentleman called Paul Anderson. Today at 11:27 a.m., Paul Anderson from Tackleston, who plays in Tackleston, passed away this morning with his battle to cancer. So a very talented young man, I've been told. We have also lost today. So to Paul's Chick's family, Paul Anderson's family, to all those connected, thoughts and prayers are with you all. So straight into football. After two gentlemen we have remembered, first thing, I've got quite a few things actually, to tell you guys. I think the most important thing I want to get across today is please message me or Lee about anything you want mentioned on a Tuesday night, regardless of how little or how big. We are always happy to receive messages and give the mentions required. Really, we can only see so much, so there's anything that we haven't mentioned or you feel we should mention, like I say, please tag us or mention us, just so we know what to say. So basically, I'm going to start at the top of my page with Martham. So Martham, Leon Tomiso, Alexia, Mike Davies, Charlie Orchard, Louis Matthews, and Henry Watson. I am understood to have seen that they have re-signed for the club this next coming season, whenever that may be. Fakenham Town, the clubhouse has opened again with social distancing in place. I think most clubhouses and establishments have now opened again, I believe, with social distancing in place. I know Lee was talking about Thetford Town, had a number of measures in place from what I can remember. I'm just trying to think top of my head if there was a number, so many they could let in, etc. I think it's always worth, if you're unsure, is just to contact the clubs direct. Would be the best thing going forward, really. Carrying on about players who have re-signed for clubs, we can go to Hemsby. Lee Scoyles has re-signed for the club, and I've also found Ricky Bowles for the Vets has also signed again for Hemsby. So the Saturday team and the Vets are making ground on the signings. Suffolk, Claydon. Training started on Tuesday with social distancing in place, and Ryan Horsfall has also signed for Claydon. So Claydon are getting back into the swing of things, etc. We can move on now to Halston Town. Halston have been very busy indeed. Halston have having floodlights installed on the ground. So the club are making extreme leaps into upgrading the facilities. For example, I know promotion is very much their target for the season. So once everything is in place ground-wise, they'll be nicely ahead of the ground requirements should they achieve promotion. Of course, Halston, the season or two ago, did go up. They were promoted, and unfortunately had to be demoted back down because of the ground wasn't meeting the FA requirements. However, where are we? Captain Nathan Russell and Sam Bora have signed again for another season. Halston have also snapped up Connor Delaney from CBS. I believe Connor used to play for Halston not so long ago. So yeah, Halston have made good ground on and off the pitch. from South Norfolk to Suffolk again. East Burgold are after players to come join the team. Just send East Burgold a message on one of their social media channels or platforms rather. And I'm sure they'll love to hear from you for any players going forward. Staying in Suffolk, Coddenham have been awarded funding to improve their pitch, like so many others have. So that's really good news for Coddenham going forward. So yeah, back to Norfolk and Blowfield training Saturday, I believe I've seen. I think most teams are now getting back to training with social distancing in place from what I've seen now, really. I don't really expect many more teams to announce training, really. Macron Norwich have produced a new kit for FC Steamers. If you haven't seen it, go on to FC Steamers Twitter channel and have a look. Macron Norwich doing them proud. March Town, their players continue to attract sponsors, which is good going forward. Also, the ladies' training is now up and running. So March Town have a handful of players left who are available for sponsor, and the ladies' training has took hold. Some positive news coming out of Discount under 18s. Adam Race and Callum Maloney have agreed to stay on again for the next season. Disctown have they pushed until coronavirus hit. They were pushing Yarmouth pretty much all the way, really. It was always Dis and Great Yarmouth under 18s in the Thurlow Youth East League, from memory. So yeah, no, that's good news coming out of Dis under 18s. A bit of stability there. Walshamley Willows, unfortunately, last Tuesday they were subject to a burglary, unfortunately, and all their power equipment, etc., has been stolen. Should you hear or know anything about the theft from Walshamley Willows, the information is on their Twitter feed, and it is also to get in contact with the local police should you hear or know anything. Our friends Northern Athletic at the Highfields, they've been busy and installed a sprinkler system. These are portable sprinklers from what I can see, with a new main system. So that's Norton looking after their pitch. Their pitch is always in fine condition anyway, to be honest. Galston, a reserve assistant is wanted at Galston. So if anybody's interested in the reserve team and being an assistant to the management team to put in your ideas, the managing team at Galston would love to hear from you. Again, there's also the social media platforms you can get in touch with Galston should you wish to take up the role or show an interest. Wroxham women are fully back in training. They're all go again. Norwich United. Okay, So Norwich United, after losing, as we know, two of their well-known players. I can't read my writing now. Adam Podden has signed a 2-year deal, and Jordan Forbes has also signed again for Norwich United. So there's a little bit of stability now coming out of Norwich United. I'm going to leave that one till last. Norton, I meant to mention, with their training, they are 20 players with 4 coaches, basically. So they're meeting the social distancing guidelines by splitting training up. I know some of the lads who live near Beccles are in one group, and some of the lads who live near Norwich are another group. So that's been very well organised down at Norton. Long Stratton, first pre-season training started for Stratton last week, including the ladies. Just touching on Galston again, they've set up a welfare team, which is very important and very commendable. Aaron Howarth is the player liaison officer at the club, and Francine Butler is the parent liaison officer. So Galston setting the tone and laying the foundations, and obviously welfare is obviously paramount, and the lads and ladies are going in the right direction. Belton FC, Callum Ingram has signed again. Where else are we? East Point Sports Limited have done new offside training shirts for the Offside Trust. So the lads there have been helping promote the work Alan Arbour does at the Offside Trust and getting on some club shirts now. I know AG Athletic in the Norwich Sunday League have got it on their shirts, and I'm seeing it proudly creep into many more. And I'm also seeing captain's armbands are circulating now as well. So that's really good news for the Offside Trust and the hard work Alan does to help support those who have been abused in sport. Gayton United, they've been busy bees. Gayton, Ben Griffin has signed again, and they have Martin Buell, Brad Tennant, Alex Forth, Jack Johnson, and Michael Wood to add to that list as well. So Gayton have been very busy indeed. Billy Wen has committed to Yarmouth as well. So that is all good news there. Speaking of signings, the signing that really got social media talking and heads turned, Galston have signed Connor Deeks. He was sold from Lowestoft Town. A very good player, very highly known player. So Connor has came down to come back to Galston, and he is going to give pretty much every defence a headache who he faces, basically. So huge news for Galston. Loddon United, Jay Cooper and Aaron Bullen and Reese Humphreys are all signed up and done, with Hemsby again, Lee Dargan, Ben Chilvers, Terry McGough have all signed for the first team. Distown back again. Interestingly, last Thursday, I believe, was the anniversary when they won the FA Vase. What was it? 94 back at Wembley. Was it 94? I think it was 94. Cambridge Brickworth have sponsored Jack Friend, who plays for March Town. Back at Yarmouth again. Where are we? They have Joe Makara, Ray Uri, Jordan and Aaron Attry have all re-signed. Aaron, I think Aaron has been doing a scholarship over in America. And he's came back over before he then goes back to finish what he started over there. Mickey Vincent has also came on. And Brannon Solomon, they have signed from Bungay Town. Norwich Seams, sponsorship required. If you speak to Norwich Seams through Twitter or Facebook and offer and to see what sponsorship packages they have, they will gladly have a chat with you. As we know, Thetford Town ladies are in training once more, which is all good news. Mutford and Wrentham, Norton's fierce neighbours, they've also been very busy, keeping pace with Norton. Centre back Chris Healy, Jared Blake, Sam Atkins, Ollie Hall, Captain Ryan Grimmer, Sammy Allen, Elliot Hunter and Sam Clabber have all signed for Mutford and Wrentham once more, which is good news and keeping the foundations for them. Wroxham ladies, Katie Pascoe's re-signed for Wroxham ladies. They've also been very busy on social media showing their social distance training and how well it's going and gone. Acle United, just down the road from Wroxham. Jack Warminger, he's also signed again for Acle. Wyndham ladies are looking for any sort of sponsors, etc. But Nexus Fostering have sponsored the first team kit. Kings Lynn Town, who, as we know, have won promotion at the end of the season through, I think it was points per game award. They have signed Jamaican international Jamar Loza from Chelmsford City. Quite some signing, great player for Chelmsford. Hopefully he can do the business for Kings Lynn Town. Norwich CBS, they have an interim chairman at present. They are looking for somebody to take on the role on a permanent basis. So if you know of anybody or fancy the role of chairman at Norwich CBS, a chairman position is available. Please contact the club to speak to them to take it through the next step. Where are we? Fakenham Town Clubhouse opened the 4th of July, again with social distancing in place. That seems to be the thing. I think most clubhouses have now reopened, really, with the correct measures and practices in place. Our friend Shroplands, they exclusively gave us the news to break about a new reserve team. Matthew Clark is going to be the manager of the new team, and we wish Shrubland Resi's new team all the best. There is also sponsorship opportunities to be the first to sponsor this new team going forward. So if that's something you fancy, head on over to Shrubland's social media accounts, send a message and they'll get back to you. Wiz Beach. Aaron Hart and Tiago Fernando have left the club, I am told, but Luke Pearson signs. So it'd be nice to see Wiz Beach turn their fortunes round and carry on from their proud history. As we know, Lakenheath have also got the pitch fund. Dussingdale and Helsden women have started training, so they're back in full swing. In the Norwich District Sunday League, there are 4 new teams: FC Steamers, Hornets, Norton Athletic, and FC Longham have joined the Sunday League divisions, and which is, to have one team join is always welcome, but to get 4 teams who wish to play Sunday League football, as we know, it can be a bit of a pain trying to get players and postponements and everything else, and refs don't turn up, bits and pieces. So that's Sunday League football. That's really good for the Norwich District League. Dersingham have 5 new advertising boards gone up. Again, if you wish to be a sponsor for Dersingham, as always, contact the club through social media. They will happily send you through price and details. Haverhill Rovers ladies, Sophie Jeffrey has signed for the club. And Henley Athletic ladies in Suffolk, players are wanted to go forward with their team. Martham have a new away kit, which was launched on Twitter, which looked absolutely stunning. So get across to Martham on Twitter and have a look at their new away kit. And I believe that is basically it from myself. And like I said, unfortunately, I'm on my own today, so it's a little bit different, a little bit shorter. Hopefully, Lee can join us for next week's show. To give you an idea on next week, me personally, through my football filming, I've got 1 or 2 things in the pipeline coming up. I'm not going to obviously reveal anything until I know for definite, but there's 2 or 3 things that are making progress and everything else, and yeah, no, it's good. So I think everybody kind of knows me by now. Really, the weird guy on the edge of the pitch, filming bits and pieces. So yeah, no, there's been a few opportunities for me. There's a few things coming up, and everything else. Like I say, unfortunately, it's a little bit shorter today. Like I say, as Lee couldn't join us, so I've gone through everything that I've had to mention and to share. But next week, there will hopefully be 1 or 2 things we can reveal, and a few things that have came to us before social media, hopefully.